What's up, Cam?
Uh, uh, a lot, I think, Mitch. It's a Friday night. We're doing something different. We have a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to
I'm
talk about.
excited.
There is.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Having a little bit of beverage. I see you're having a beverage as well. So
I am.
It's ready.
Have you ever heard of the beer called La Fin du Monde?
I have not.
It's from Quebec, and it's a Belgian style. And La Fin du Monde in French means the end of the world. So it's
sounds delicious.
Très magnifique, as they would say.
I forgot a couple of.
All right. So you commented you had a question for me before the show.
Have you seen the teaser trailer for the new Kenobi series?
I actually have not.
I saw it for the first time today. And outside of the fact that Obi-Wan's wandering around Tatooine like a white Jesus for half the time, it looks real good, and I'm really excited. And it got me like super amped up because it was one of those, like, I usually don't watch the suggested videos at the end of YouTube videos. You know how like they pop up with like you watch one of these, whatever. And it popped up, and I was like, oh, for the first time in a long time, I was like, yes, please, and clicked on that, and it was it was super good.
That's one of my favorite memes on Instagram is when you see like your aunt, the guy's aunt thought the picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi was Jesus. That's a good time.
I mean, but he's a white British guy, so that's we're just gonna have to steer. We're gonna have to steer clear of that whole
Yep.
nonsense. But anyways, I was just curious if you'd seen it yet. I wanted to get that out of the way before we dive into.
I actually haven't, because the series is far enough off right now that I'm not super excited. I'm actually excited about Star Trek Visions. I'm sorry, Star Wars Visions. Good grief! What did I just do? But that's supposed to start next week, I think. And that's the all anime series.
You're doing an anime one?
Yeah. So
I don't know if I can handle that.
It's basically what I'm understanding is, you remember the old Animatrix? It was a series of like anime things based on the Matrix. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of concept. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with that. To my knowledge, they are not using any of the main characters in this, that they're just going to be characters within the Star Wars universe.
Gotcha. So no Han Solo in anime?
I'm guessing not. Maybe there'll be a cameo. I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it. He's dead. Oh, too soon. Anyways, so I'm about to finish up season 3 of Clone Wars. I got reignited, so I've been cruising through season 3 the last like week and a half. So
yeah, you're getting right around the time where it's really starting to get good and pick up, and it's like just gets a hold of you and won't let go. So yeah.
So anyways, all right, enough Star Wars talk, Mitch.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you, what did you think of NXT 2.0? I have feelings, but I'm curious to see what you're going to say.
So
I'm gonna check out on this part.
I
don't think we mentioned on the show that my wife is in the studio with us, or with me. So she is not a wrestling fan, so she just went up to take care of the dishes. So
nice. We have a live studio audience for the first time.
Yep.
So I like the fact that the in-ring style and quality of matches hasn't changed. What I do not like is the fact that it looks like SmackDown Light. It's got, it's got a smaller version of Raw's, video screen that they walk through. The fact that the crowd is lit up and bright so you can see all the fans, I don't like that. I loved the fact that it was like dark and dingy and the spotlights would come down on the ring. Like it felt like you were at like a game at Madison Square Gardens when the Knicks plays, or when all the lights are on the court and there's no lights on the fans. Like you're there to watch the show. You're there to watch the entertainment. And now it's this big, it feels like a mini version of Raw or SmackDown. And I do not like that at all. It makes, because you notice how small it is. You notice that it's like 12 rows deep and that's it. When it was all dark and it had like the fencing on the, like it
had this bigger than life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it felt grittier, and it felt like you were somewhere like maybe you weren't supposed to be watching this go down.
Oh yeah, definitely felt like the cage fight feel. Like
yeah,
it was grimy and
I loved how different it was from the main roster in production value. And I feel like them making it a smaller version of the main roster production wise, I don't like.
No. Everything I was learning to love about NXT is gone.
Yeah, but the in-ring stuff is still there, which makes me happy. Do you know that first match? Did you watched it? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You know who Braun Breaker is, which is, for the record, one of the worst names of all time.
I hated that name.
You know who that is?
I saw. I couldn't tell you who he is, but I know that he's somebody I'm supposed to know.
He's Rick Steiner's kid.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, why didn't they run with the Steiner name? That would have been good.
For probably WCW reasons. I guarantee you it's because he was a WCW guy before he came over, and Vince is just that freaking petty.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, my wife joined us back in the studio, so we can probably move on from that. So we talked on the last episode about your monitor issues, that you could only get one dual extra monitor out of your M1 MacBook Pro.
Yes.
And I happened to be listening to MacBreak Weekly that next week, and Alex Lindsay talked about a solution that they use in their production, and you bought it, and tell me how it worked out for you.
Yeah, so it's by a company called Pluggable, which I'd never heard of, but Mitch sent it to me and said that someone else had used it to get 5 monitors attached to an M1, which is just, I don't know how they daisy chained that together, but that feels like a fire hazard to me. And so it was like $119, and I was like, I can get it on Amazon. If it doesn't work, I can send it back and get my money. Like, why the heck would I not do this? Because in my office at the church, I have 3 monitors wall mounted that I would use for work, especially back when I was like working on like power apps and in like automations and stuff. I just need the real estate to be able to see everything.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's nice to have. I have these monitors I can't use. Well, I'll pull the trigger. Why not? Turns out you plug this sucker in. It's got HDMI and DisplayPort for each of the 2 outputs. So you can mix and match. Like you can plug in one HDMI into display 1 and then a DisplayPort into display 2, and then it doesn't matter. Or, so what I was able to do was I was able to use one of the USB-C ports in the MacBook Pro for the pluggable, and that gets me 2 displays. And then the third one, I happen to have a USB-C to, I think it's VGA connection. And so I can use the second USB-C port on the Pro, and I can have 3 monitors attached to my MacBook Pro. And all it takes is you go to their website, you download a driver. It's a little menu bar app that just sits there, and bada boom, bada bing, your M1 Mac can have many displays. So I was quite pleased that you sent that my way. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, really nice solution, and I'm glad I was able to help out. So if you're out in the audience and you're thinking to yourself, gosh, I got this M1 Mac that's not doing what I want it to do, there's a perfectly good solution for it. So very good. Pluggables. I know Alex Lindsay's talked about those before, and if you don't know Alex, I'm guessing you haven't heard the name before, don't know who he is. He is one of the guys at 909 Media, and they do streaming and all kinds of stuff, like stuff he can't talk about. Apparently he's worked at the White House for streaming events and has done like some really major
maybe I heard an interview with him a while back, because I remember listening to someone talking about like live streaming at the White House, and so maybe I just didn't realize that I'd heard of him before, but that sounds very familiar.
Yep. And I would recommend checking out officehours.global, I think it is. He started this thing during quarantine where he was doing like 2-3 hours in the morning where he would just turn on Zoom, and like a bunch of people would start joining the Zoom meeting, and they would just talk about nerdy, video, audio, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's gotten to the point now where he's on for like 3 hours, but it goes 24/7. Like they have people on there all the time talking about different stuff, and it's just ridiculous. So officehours.global. I think you'd really enjoy it. You might actually become slightly obsessed with it. But it's good. It's good. They do cooking on the weekends. So like there's somebody that's in the the club or that's in the group that teaches them how to cook different things, and so these guys are all like big video nerds, so they have video rigs all set up in their kitchen, so they all sit there and cook together. And I haven't seen it myself, but
these are definitely my kind of people.
But it's pretty good. I think
you should get on there and teach them how to cook some Pizza Hut, Mitch.
I should, you have to get the app and put in what you want, and it comes like an hour later. Anyway, so we convened tonight, and I'll just let you know that we could not record on our normal Saturday morning. If it sounds like we're a little punchier and having a little bit more fun, this is a Friday night. We should really record at night, because I think we have a little bit more fun with this.
Yeah, well, I've been awake for a lot longer.
So. I thought I would be more tired at this point, but alcohol does things. But anyway, we had an Apple event this last week, and I want to save to the very end what we're getting. Okay. But we should talk about some of the different announcements that were made. First off, California streaming. Apparently, they're really streaming. They are really proud of being from California.
This is news to you?
Well, no, but they did a whole thing at the beginning about how awesome California is.
Well, my state has pretty things too. One or two of them.
This is true. Well, one or two. I've driven through Illinois.
I'm one of them, clearly.
Yes, you're a very pretty man.
And then the other would be like Michigan. Everything else is not so much.
Yeah. So they started talking about Apple TV Plus, and I think that I'm excited about Foundation. I don't know if there's anything that you're excited about. Foundation actually premieres next weekend.
Yeah, that one I have not read the books, and I don't really plan to unless the show really grips me. But it's definitely something that I'm gonna check out and see, if it's any good. But I mean, it certainly looks interesting and looks like it could be, another universe show, right? Where you just kind of like Game of Thrones or Star Wars or anything. It's just like, if it's that good, Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Then it's worth my attention. But that remains to be seen.
And there are those that are saying that this is Apple's Game of Thrones. So, but I'll tell you, it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to suck. One or the other. So we'll probably find out here in the next few weeks which one it is. So
now, sometimes those shows, like they got to grow into it. Like if you go back and watch like season 1 of Game of Thrones, the production level is not good because they had no budget, right? The story is slow. So you just gotta let it breathe for a while.
Yeah, I accept that. Is there much to say about the iPad?
Which one?
I'm sorry. Is there much to say about iPad? My wife has the same problem that you have with the lack of articles.
Because she understands how English works.
Preach.
Like words mean things, and so does sentence structure and grammar.
I'm just trying to train myself to say it that way just to bug you. So.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for that, buddy.
All right.
So, I mean, the 9th gen iPad, no, still a great, really affordable little machine.
Hey, it was upgraded. It's upgraded to a 2-year-old chip.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have the 7th gen, and it is my emergency parenting device for my daughter. She uses it like maybe twice a month, but it's just in the moment where like, I just can't right now. Like I can't.
Here, watch this.
Like I need 10 minutes or I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And it's not her fault that I'm in that spot. It's because, life is going on and she's 4 and needs food and attention right now. And I'm trying to deal with, other crap. But so that's the purpose it serves in our household. It frequently is dead because it doesn't really get used ever. But for education purposes or for people that want the iPad experience at a much more reasonable price compared to like the Pro or like it is a great little device.
Yeah.
It does everything it's supposed to do. You're not missing out on a whole lot if, you're just looking for a tablet that you can browse the internet on, play some games, read some books, say stupid things on Twitter. It's wonderful at that. And for education purposes, schools can get them under 300 and it just works. But I mean, it is the entry level for a reason, right? It's
right.
And it serves that purpose very well.
Yeah. $329, $299 for education. I mean, the price point's right.
I think they should significantly lower the education price. Like, I think it should be like 99 or 149 for
I know they're trying to they're basically competing with Chromebooks. So, I think that's where they're looking at the price, because it's going to be a premium price. But
and I get that Apple always charges a premium and always has and always will, but I feel like they're so like environmentally conscious and like, we're going to do the right thing. Well, then don't charge schools more than you need to. Charge them cost plus 10%. You'll still make a profit and you'll look really good doing it, and you'll undercut Chromebooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not their business model. I think any way you can cut schools a break, you should.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it.
So, and I know we don't have much to talk about with the iPad mini, so we can move right
on. You shut your face, Mitch.
So I got a text message right away. Are you watching this? And I'm like, well, yeah, we just talked about the iPad mini.
Well, okay, so I was all excited about it. I was all excited about it, right? And then they lead off with the iPad 9th gen, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Come on, seriously, like. And
that seemed like an odd choice anyway.
But I know why they did it, because you don't want to do that one after the iPad mini. Mm-hmm. But I was like, crap, this is the only iPad we're gonna get. I got all my hopes up for no reason. And then, lo and behold, this glorious little iPad Air Mini. I know it's not called that, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Appeared,
the Mini Air.
And I am smitten, Mitch.
Yeah. So you're really into iPad Mini?
No, I enjoy the iPad Mini, much like I enjoy proper grammar and syntax.
I love you, Cam.
So no, I bought I'm not supposed to tell you. I didn't buy anything.
Okay.
These are not we're going to talk about that. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yep.
We
need an audience more often.
I know, this is great.
Yeah, you know how many snarky comments I'm holding back over here?
You know what's terrible is this is gonna be awful to edit.
No, because I can hear her. I can hear her just fine. So, and she sounds like she's an audience member because she's not right on the mic. It's perfect.
Right, perfect.
It's like spatial audio.
So iPad Mini. What is it that you like about the iPad Mini?
Oh, yes, you said it correctly. Thank you. I like the fact that it finally got updated to the Pro and Air design, right? So no home button. It's got Touch ID and the power button. It's got much improved cameras. Not that I'm going to use it for that, but my daughter does cute things randomly. So having a nice camera to point at her every once in a while is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that I can hold it in one hand. I looked at the measurements, and it's like the size of my hand from, like wrist to the middle finger, and just wide enough that I can hold it with my thumb and my pinky. So like, but it's not as small as my phone, right? And so for me, I got to not say what I was about to say. It's so hard to not talk about what you didn't theoretically buy when you're not supposed to talk about those
again.
We'll
talk about that at the end. He might have or may not have bought an iPad Mini.
Yeah, the suspense. I like the fact that it's got all the power it needs, because they're not going to touch it for 3 or 4 more years. We know this, right? So like they gave it everything it needs to compete and be a really solid device. I like that it's smaller. All of that stuff. It's just like the Apple Pencil looks like it belongs because it's just smaller. Like it just.
Yeah, that Apple Pencil on the side of it made me laugh, because it's like, dude, it's the height of the iPad.
It looks like it belongs.
Yeah,
it gets a little lost on the iPad Pro, especially. And I have the 11-inch. I can't even imagine how lost it gets on the 12.9.
Yeah. So I think I would echo as I was driving home from work tonight, I was listening to ATP, and Casey put it exactly how I would put it. I'm glad that this thing is in the world, but it's not for me.
Wow, that's a very positive outlook, Mitch. I'm proud of you.
Yep. So
you're okay. All right, that's a good way to sum it up.
Yep.
You're glad it exists, but it's not for you.
It's a cool little machine. I got big hands. I'm a big guy. I like big things, And for me,
oh my god,
I need that. I need at least the 11-inch.
Can I say I love you anyway again?
So,
all
right, moving right along.
Hold on.
We should so record at night more often.
Anyways, I'm so proud of my filter right now.
How about Apple Watch?
I don't care.
Ow, what was that? I just got stuff thrown at me. How about the Apple Watch? Good grief. Anyway.
Honest, for me, I don't care. It was a waste of 15 minutes to me. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be really, really nice for somebody else.
Yeah.
What about you?
At my first reaction was meh. It's whatever. I think from where I'm at right now with the Series 4, it would be a really nice upgrade.
It would be, yeah.
I don't have the always on display. I think that can we talk about colors for a second? I do not love any of the colors that were in the event.
They did make some interesting choices.
Yeah. I mean, last year, we're not to the iPhone yet, but last year they offered an electric orange silicone iPhone case.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks great. You think they offered it this year? No.
They did on the iPad mini. You can get a bright orange iPad mini Smart Folio.
I'm super excited about that. But they didn't offer it for the iPhone. But anyway, we'll get to that later. But
the colors, well, the one that I keep hearing everyone be very confused about is Starlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's almost a little bit of a cream color, but not quite.
Yeah, but there's no true black. There's no true white. You got green, red, blue for the watch, right? But blue. One of the things is there's not a true neutral color on the watch,
right?
And not everybody wants their watch to be a focal point of their attire or in contrast to their attire. And so if you're wearing a bright red watch or that forest green, those colors clash with other colors. And so it's hard.
Right.
And watches are often fashion items, right? We don't need watches anymore. And so it's just an interesting choice that they didn't include a neutral color in the watches. So as someone who has the space gray or whatever Series 6, I'm glad that my Series 0 exploded a couple years ago and I was able to get, because if I had waited till this year, I'd have been well, crap, I guess I'm gonna go with green.
Yeah, I think the we'll talk about this later too, but I think the larger screen is going to make a difference. Even though I've got it's only 1 millimeter difference. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I feel good about that.
Right. It's only 1 millimeter, but those screens are tiny. So percentage wise, you get a lot of screen real estate back, which is nice. But one of the things they were and now there's a keyboard on here. And it's why? Why is there a keyboard on something the size of my thumb?
So the 800-pound gorilla in there is they kicked a keyboard app out of the App Store. Not 6 months to a year ago because it's against the Apple Watch interface guidelines, and all of a sudden they have their own. So
the screen's bigger now, Mitch.
Yeah. So that's going to be the argument, but but I've heard a couple of podcasts already talk about that. So it's a thing, and we need to talk about it because we're a podcast.
Indeed.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is all the rumors were it was going to match the iPad Pro, Air, and now Mini, the flat sides, the thin bezels, all that sort of stuff, and that the bands, the existing set of bands that have existed forever and have been compatible across every single Apple Watch since the beginning of time, were no longer going to fit, and people were freaking out about it. Turns out, incorrect on all accounts.
None of that happened.
Right, which is interesting.
Here's my thought: is that it didn't work. Like they couldn't make it work. So here's what we know. We know that they were talking about delays in the Apple Watch that could have pushed it back into the fall further. And then all of a sudden they fixed it. So my conspiracy theory is that they were going to announce a new design. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, that other design that we were going to go with, we better slot that in instead because we can't manufacture this other one that we were going to try and manufacture before. So now this is kind of the holdover until, say, next year they unveil this new design with the flatter sides and stuff like that. I can't tell you what it was that prevented that from happening, but there must have been some kind of production issues or something like that they couldn't get to work.
Yeah, because I wonder, like, how long ago a decision like that had to be made for them to be ready in the fall. And I feel like it's been that decision would have probably had to have been made in the spring, early summer. I like total guessing here, right? Me and in the supply chain, we've never met. I don't know how it works. Right. Secondly, what I was really hoping you were going to say when you said you had a conspiracy theory was that the world is flat, but the Apple Watch is not.
That's not me. I'm not a flat worlder.
Good for you, Mitch. We finally agree on something.
Yep, we do. Definitely. So they spend a lot of time on Fitness Plus.
You're not going to hit up that Pilates class?
I guess I kind of skipped over a bunch of it because I was trying to watch it real fast, but Pilates?
Until they have Tai Chi, I kind of don't care.
Yeah, we're kind of hoping for Tai Chi.
Oh, but they have mindfulness.
Yes.
One thing that they did do, though, is that I thought was really smart was like classes. Like you don't have to work out by yourself with someone. Like you can work out with other people at the same time and like share play the thing. So like, if me and you were fitness nerds, which we're not, like, we could do a workout together, right? Or like my friends or family or like whatever,
so not only could I watch the lady on the screen doing the things, I could watch you doing the things with the lady. That would be super, super exciting.
Oh, Mitchell. Oh my God. There is so much context required for that statement.
Well, I think people had this context because I'm seeing you in FaceTime as we're doing this, and I'm seeing her on the screen, doing the
stop. Let's move on.
We're cutting off the alcohol.
I don't know what you guys are talking
about. Anyways,
no,
I think what they're doing is interesting. What concerns me is that people are going to just default to doing stuff by themselves and only involving other people digitally. And that's concerning to me on a number of levels. And I also don't want to see local gyms go out of business because companies like Apple are just stealing clients.
I get it.
I don't want to watch my friends working out.
Yeah, that could be a little weird too.
It's awkward enough doing that stuff at home by myself.
99. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard me. I did over 99.
Yeah. That's pretty hot. I just almost ended up with a spit take. We really need to not do these at night.
No, we do.
Opinion.
It's great. I just didn't want to spit my last sip of beer all over my computer.
Oh, I don't usually post the video, but I have a feeling I need to post, at least get a screen grab of that look that was on your face.
Yeah, great. That'll never come back to haunt me ever. Anyways,
I think we better move on to the iPhone 13.
Yes.
So
I want to hear your opinions first.
I think some of the camera stuff is pretty cool. That the cinematic mode was available. I think available on all the cameras, if I'm not mistaken. And
it's available on the standard and the pro models.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting. I'm stopping short of saying that I think it's cool, but I think it's definitely interesting. I want to play around with it and see how it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it will shift focus from, one person to the other person and trying to intelligently shift the focus so that you do get kind of that bokeh effect where, if you're zoomed in a little bit on somebody closer to the camera and then shift focus to the back, if somebody turns their head and looks at the camera,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be interesting to try and see, but I can see that there could be a lot of problems with that too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think when it gets it right, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to get it wrong a lot of the time.
Yeah. And I mean, they're leaning heavy on the fact that you can go back and do the editing afterwards.
And that's a great point. And I think that is what I would say is cool. Like that to me checks the cool box. Here's what you think is right. I can go back and I can say, oh, no, wait for it. Now pull. And now if I can control the speed at which the focus racks, as well as when it does it, that would be incredible. Because sometimes you don't want the very fast, because that's jarring, right? Especially if it's like they were showing that one scene where it was pouring rain down the window in that like apartment, and the guy showed up with flowers or something behind the lady who was kind of like looking at the mirror or window being sad. You don't want a fast change there. That's a intimate, romantic, sad to happy. You want that to be slow to build the tension, and then he's here and she sees him, right? Like it builds in the emotion. So if you can control the speed and the time points at which you can do that, that's super cool. And the fact that you could do that on your phone is bonkers. Now I will say I'm much more interested and excited by the Pro models than I am the regular models. And I've never owned an iPhone Pro. I have an 11, and before I had the 11, I had the 7.
Yeah.
So I've never had a Pro phone. I've been part of the 2-camera club for quite a while. But the updates to like the ultra wide camera, the fact that you have night mode in all 3 lenses in the Pro,
that's a huge update.
Like in the telephoto is a 77 millimeter with 3x optical zoom. Like there is a lot to like about the cameras in the Pro. You combine that with, like I said, the night mode, cinematic mode, portrait mode is better, because when that showed up, it was garbage. Now it's actually usable in most scenarios. And as a camera nerd, I like to haul around this thing everywhere I go. But I mean,
the difference in size.
Yeah.
You can get one of those 2 things in your pocket.
Exactly. And when I have this out, this camera, when I have this camera out, everybody knows it.
Yep. That's when you get the weird looks. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry,
and it finally landed. And
Samwise Gamgee right here.
Dropping no eaves.
I'm excited about the Pro. I was in the Pro Club on the 11, so I'm pretty excited about what I saw with the Pro. A lot of the stuff that you mentioned, as well as again, colors. Good grief. Like Sierra Blue.
They didn't even wait a year and a half to do that when I did the purple iPhone 11.
Where's my orange? That's what I want to know. Now we've had 2 blue phones now. Where's my orange phone?
You and my dad, man. Oh my god.
It's killing me. And there's not even a good case.
I'm sorry.
They have Marigold is their orange case for the Pro. And it's not orange. It's like
it's yellow.
Peachy. Yeah, it's
Marigold
is so mad.
Is a yellow for sure.
But I'm excited. I have not had one with a MagSafe on it either.
Yeah, me either.
So I've been looking at accessories and stuff like that for MagSafe, and maybe need to let's take a beat before I buy stuff. But I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. Although,
go ahead.
Oh well, we're not to that yet. Never mind.
Okay. How do you feel about the 120 hertz promotion and the variable refresh rate from 10 all the way to 120?
Yep. Everything that I've heard about the promotion leads me to believe that when I get it, I'm going to be like, wow, holy crap. It looks so good. You can't demo that.
Yeah.
So you can't, I mean, we're watching them go, oh, look, it's so smooth. And it's like, yeah, but I'm watching it at 24 frames per second on my phone. And I can't tell how smooth that looks. So
honestly, I'm curious if I'll even notice.
Right. I think from everything I've heard is it's more noticeable on the phone than it is on like an iPad or something like that. That's what Mike Hurley has said, because he's got iPads that have it.
Which iPads have it and which ones don't?
I want to say your Pro might have it, because it's a couple years old that they've had it on the on the Pro.
I bought mine's a 2020 iPad Pro, so
I think there's a shot that
there's
a shot that it has it, that you have it. So
yeah, well, if that's the case, then I certainly won't notice it, because I have no idea. And I can't tell the difference between scrolling on my phone and scrolling on my iPad. So we'll see.
So anything else we want to say about any of the announcements from Tuesday?
Nothing that comes to mind. I think we hit all the major stuff that I was at least excited about or annoyed by.
I know we're probably missing a lot of little detail things. Well, they brought center stage to both the iPads, which I think is pretty cool. Not to the phones, which, kind of makes sense, but still would be pretty cool. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. It seems like everything's got, all the iPads have USB-C now, except for the 9th generation iPad.
Yep. Which still uses the Gen 1 Apple Pencil, which is, but again, it's at this point they can make those things for pennies on the dollar. So that's what it's all about.
It's all about cost,
profits and margins, overhead, and all those gross adult terms.
Yep. Apparently the Apple Watch will have a faster charger available for it. The rumor is that it'll be a USB-C charger, USB-C into the brick, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting to see how many of those I'm going to have to order. Because Jamie's phone's going to come with one of those. My phone's going to come with one of those. Oh, wait, we haven't gotten that far, have we? So like these other devices are going to need those. So
just cut that out.
Yeah, I'm not going to cut it out. That's funny. But so we might as well put ourselves out of the misery. The next thing we're going to talk about is what are we getting? So
I bought an iPad mini.
Yeah, I figured you ordered one of those. So next time we talk, I'll be able to get a review from you.
Yeah, I just got the base model, the 64 gigs, no cellular, whatever, just the very basic model. And for my birthday, my mom bought me the Smartfolio case.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
She still insists on buying me birthday presents, and I'm okay. I'm not going to stop you, but like, I've been an adult for a long time now. I have a bank account and like I understand how all this works. But if you're going to give me something for free, then can I have one of these?
Yeah.
We get $50 a piece for our birthday from his parents.
Yeah, we still get money from my folks.
Let's see.
I still get
Parents
presents for
just do it.
Christmas. My mom just likes buying us stuff. So
I'm
don't argue.
not. I don't prevent her from doing it, but I'm like
Mhm.
every year I'm like, you realize like you
It's
don't
still your
have-
kid.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move on from there.
anyways, yeah. So I got the iPad Mini, the 64 gig, whatever the closest thing to space gray was. The colors are different on the iPads and the phones, right? So I got
I think
the,
so.
the space gray iPad Mini with the black Smart Folio because I'm just a dark individual.
Yeah.
And it arrives a week from today.
He's
And I'm Batman. That wasn't very good.
No, not really, but all right.
Usually I am more angry. Anyways, I got nervous. Jamie's here. So yeah, that arrives next week, and I'm excited
Hmm.
because yes, by the next time we record, I will have lots of opinions. Sorry, there's like a little fruit fly around my head, and I want it murdered ASAP. Attracted to my sweetness, Mitch.
Yes. You are sweet.
All right, so I spilled the beans. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I spilled the beans on my purchase. What did you get?
All right. So as of this morning, we are recording on iPhone pre-order day. And we pre-ordered. I got Jamie the iPhone 13 in product red. She has a clear case coming for it that she ordered from Amazon.
Go Badgers.
Yeah, go Badgers. She's not a
Twins
Badgers fan.
Well, it's red. You live in Wisconsin. People will assume.
Sure.
I'm from Minnesota though, so
Yeah, she's from Minnesota.
Do people know that? Do you wear a shirt that says "I'm from Minnesota"? This is not Badger Red.
you're wearing a shirt that says Chicago.
Yeah, I have a
so-
shirt that says Chicago, so
You guys are
Yeah.
just all sorts of devious.
we've got issues. I ordered the iPhone 13 Pro Max, as is my I have big hands, remember? So I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max coming, which I'm super excited about, and the clear case, because before I realized that it doesn't really work with the it works with the wallet, but it doesn't do the Find My thing with the wallet, which I think is kind of silly. I don't know if there's an extra chip in it that causes that, but anyway, it is what it is. The new wallets that have the
Yeah,
Find My.
in it.
Yeah.
That's only the new ones, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they must have a chip.
I ordered one of those too because I want to try it. Yeah. So clear case, the black wallet to go with it. And what color do you think I ordered?
I think you went with Starlight, and you're gonna spray paint it orange out of spite.
No, I didn't go with Starlight.
You go with. I don't even know what the other colors are.
Well,
Graphite?
I did go with the graphite. Yeah.
They can't call it space. Why is space like?
Apparently, it's a slightly different color, so it has to have its own name.
Why? Like, why not have them all match?
Well, we'll find out because I currently have. Well, actually, I currently have a midnight green one, but I have other space gray things around here, so I can compare them and see. But I think, from what I understand, it's a gray that has just a little bit of brown in it. So it's a
poopy
little
gray.
different.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a poopy gray. Show title.
You got to have the smiling poop emoji in there too.
Yep.
How much storage did you get?
Good question. Actually, good question. What did I think I know what I got, but let me double check. I got Jamie the 256 gig. And I am pretty sure I'm going to the email to double check to make sure that I'm right about this. Where is it here?
Thank you for using my name instead of just saying my wife.
My wife.
That lady that lives with me. Should I got her
That's
that one?
really weird.
Have fun on the couch tonight, buddy.
I've never done that to him.
Yeah, in all the years that we've been married, she's never done that to me. 512 gigs. I went with the middle-ish option. because that's like the two middle ones is the 256 and the 512.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I did that is I'm actually a little bit afraid that that because they bumped up to the 128 gig, that suddenly things are going to start taking more space on the device.
Well, yeah, because the one thing that we haven't talked about yet is the
Yeah.
ProRes and Dolby Vision video,
Yeah.
right? If
Mhm.
you shoot any of that, it's going to eat your storage so fast to the point that the 128 gig versions of the iPhone 13, they don't even allow you to shoot ProRes on them
Right.
because it takes up so much storage space.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get incredible results,
Mhm.
but
I'm not a ProRes guy. I probably won't shoot in ProRes.
what does that even mean? I'm not a ProRes
Not
guy.
a ProRes guy.
I like my
That's
video footage crappy and grainy, like Dad's VHS.
Yeah, I like the device telling me what I should see.
I want there to be unnecessary light leaks, so I look like a hipster. Oh, this thing shoots in crisp 4K at 60p. No, give me a 480 at 12 frames a second. I want to
not
look like
for
I shot
me,
it on
my
a
friend.
hand reel. Though I did pay $1,200 for this.
Can I get some film grain with that? Anyway.
You want to know what else I got, Mitch?
What else did you get?
I got a phone too.
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I got a
13 Pro.
Samsung Z Fold. Just kidding. I got the
wow.
iPhone.
that hurt a little bit.
Me and BTS are going to be dancing in the subway next weekend. I got the iPhone 13 Pro. So I'm finally joining the Pro Club. I'm getting a telephoto. And I also went graphite and 512 gigabytes.
Cool.
Not
I like
pixels, but you should go to that website.
Cool.
So, and the trade-ins were ridiculous this year.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I was going to
paying-
try. Verizon offered a really good trade-in, but I couldn't get the stupid thing to work.
Seriously?
Yeah, I ended up going with the Apple deal, so I got like $500 back for mine instead of the $800 that Verizon was offering. It wasn't that big a difference when it came down to it because they were extending the time period out and all that kind of stuff. So I want to pay it off in 24 months. I'm not doing this 30-month garbage. So
I was able to do it through Verizon. And so I'm actually going to wind up paying less per month for a 13 Pro than I was paying. And that's with the increased 5G unlimited plan. So I got to pay $10 more a month for the 5G than I was paying for the 4G. And I'll still wind up paying after I get the trade-in value back, like $11 less a month for a 13 Pro than I was paying for this 11, which is just glorious.
All right. Well, there's one other purchase that I am waiting to make. I think we've talked about this on the show before, but it is an upgrade year for me for the watch.
Oh.
I'm still not 100% on what color I'm going to go with, but I'm heavily leaning towards the midnight. So
It's just called midnight.
It's called midnight.
It's not a color. That's a time.
I know.
Check out my new favorite color, 9:17 p.m. Now, whatever color just popped into your head, listener, that is the color of 9:17 p.m.
Yeah. I have no color.
It is variable. It means different things to different people because truth isn't real, Mitch.
It was orange, actually.
Now you're going to get punched.
I'm kidding, Jamie. It was a joke. Plus, I'm here, so you can't punch me.
What are you, like 4 hours away?
I don't know. Who knows where I am?
Yeah, I think you're about 4 hours away from us. But anyway, so just because the other colors are a little bit more opinionated, and they won't go with everything. You know, I thought about the product red, but it's like, if I wear something that product red doesn't go with, it's going to look garbagey and very stand out a lot.
Anything you might wear at work?
Possibly, but
would very much.
Oh, you think I try to color match at work? Good grief.
Well,
it's not like
your employer has a very opinionated color scheme.
They do.
That does not go well with red.
This is true. But anyway, but even the green and the blue I mean, they're a little bit more muted, but still, like the green I kind of like, but I still don't. I don't know that I'm going to run into something that's just not going to go with that green. The Starlight actually isn't terrible. You know,
isn't that sparkly or something though?
No, it's not sparkly. But so I'm leaning heavily towards the midnight color. It's supposed to be like a black with just a little bit of blue tint to it. So I can live with that. We can probably sell it as black pretty easily. So if not, I have paint
and a cat
that just jumped on the keyboard. So
yeah,
trouble.
I feel like you need to bedazzle your watch ever since Jamie said, isn't that the sparkly one?
Yeah.
You need more glitter in your life, Mitch.
Yep. So I'll let her bedazzle it. I'll end up with one of those really fancy looking ones that look like it has diamonds all over, but it's really just going to be like little terrible little jewels.
Girl, so.
That's true.
Check out the Apple Watch. I got it. Hobby Lobby. Boom.
Boom, buddy. Whoop, whoop. Looks like a teenager got a hold of it. Yeah, so obviously I'll get the larger of the two because that's my brand.
Because you like big stuff.
I like big things. But wow, a little bit of alcohol and a night show. This was a good choice for us. I don't know what else to say about that. Oh, cellular. I think this is going to be the first year that I'm going to pop for the cellular on the watch.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever had cellular.
I haven't talked to her about the fact that that I would have to, if I put it on our bill, the bill would go up by about $15. But
yeah, well, good luck with that.
Start it with the money from the church.
Yeah. All right. So
I've never had cellular on anything other than my phone, but what I realized when I was doing my upgrade this morning at 7:00 was that by upgrading to the 5G plan, I have a permanent hotspot now on my phone. So when Disney Plus craps the bed and road trips and my daughter can't watch the show when we're driving 5 hours to see my parents, even though it's downloaded on the freaking device, I can now just go, oh, here you go, sweetheart. Bing.
I didn't know they added the hotspot in there.
It's included in Verizon's 5G plan.
That might be worth looking into. I didn't upgrade us. Nice. I went with the old plans, but
yeah. So in order to get the trade-in through Verizon, you had to upgrade to the 5G plan. So it was an extra $10 a month over what I was paying.
Yeah, and I think that's why I didn't. We didn't upgrade her because I guess I didn't really read it. Dude, I was sitting at the thing going, okay, we got to get it in here. And I'm like trying to hurry to get through the things and not reading anything. So,
yeah,
we can upgrade later.
Like forever that he's actually been at the breakfast table on time or early because he needed to be up so he could order this stuff.
Hey, 7:00 this morning. I had to get my pre-order in. It was important.
I did mine in bed and then I went back to sleep. It was great.
Hey, breakfast is at 7. I usually stumble through the living room at about 7:00 and go brush my teeth. And then, yes, at 7. And then, kind of stumble my way back to the breakfast table at maybe 10 after. So, but this morning I was like, it's 20 to 7. I better get up and go get my teeth brushed so I can be at the table by 7:00.
Interesting what motivates a man.
Yeah, you know what? Technology.
Bacon and eggs does not motivate this man.
I like bacon and eggs, but it'll be there in 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
But yeah. So, the question, what's delighting you today, Cam?
Can something that hasn't happened yet delight me? Or the anticipation of something?
Perhaps. What hasn't happened that you're delighted about?
Tomorrow night, I am taking the entire volunteer staff from the youth group out to a new axe throwing place in town.
Oh.
And there's 10 of us going, and only one of us has ever done it before. So it's going to be hysterically bad.
Yeah.
And we're all super competitive. So like, even though we all suck, we're all going to be like, well, I didn't miss as much as you. Oh, it's like, it's going to be like, we're all going to be about it.
Yeah.
But we're all going to be like embarrassingly bad. And there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. For reasons why I'm going to really have fun that we don't need to get into right now. But I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and it's like one of the few times where we've all gotten together just to have fun and not to talk shop or not to plan or not to like, we're just going to hang out and be friends.
Cool.
Which we all are. And we do, like 3 or 4, but like to have everybody together for a couple hours and just, laugh and have fun and compete. And
this is your first big event since COVID,
but it's not a youth. It's just the staff.
Yeah.
It's no kids. So it's all of the adult volunteers.
But I mean, like, is this kind of your first big outing since COVID?
No, we've been back in person since the state allowed us to. We just have worked with masks, and we made it through the entire thing without having to do any contact tracing, which is incredible because we have like 20 to 30 kids every week. We've had people get sick, but it's always been to the point where they got sick before youth group, so we didn't have to then be like, all right, all this, that, and the other thing. So we've been incredibly blessed with that. But yeah, it's just going to be fun, and I'm going to win. I'm calling it now. I will crush them.
So because of your competitive spirit, I think it'd be hilarious to get you up here and take you to we've got a place up here called Knuckleheads in Wisconsin Dells. And
great name.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff. Go-karts, bowling, they got a trampoline park there. It's nuts.
Oh, trampoline parks, yeah.
They have trampoline dodgeball.
That'd be fun. We went to a trampoline park for part of my cousin's bachelor party. It was like 10, 20, and 30-year-old dudes, and then 100 teenagers, like 12 and 13-year-olds. It's fun. Have you ever gone foaling? Football bowling?
No.
I don't know how widespread it is, but there's a place in Detroit that does it. And essentially you stand probably, 15, 20 yards apart. And each team has a bowling setup, the pins, the 10 bowling pins in the triangle on a platform. And you each get a football, 2 people on a team, and you chuck the football the 15 to 20 yards, and you have to knock down the pins. It's quite fun.
Yeah. No, I have not done that before.
Check it out.
All right.
Knuckleheads. Good name.
Mm-hmm.
I do love me some go-karts too.
That's a fun place. There's a lot of cool stuff there. There's a rope course, which I don't get scared on stuff like that terribly easy. This was a little bit. I actually second guess doing it again. But it was fun.
Do they have the Pampers pole?
The Pampers pole.
Yeah, so you gotta climb up like a 30-foot pole and stand on the top and then jump and grab like a trapeze.
No, they don't have anything like that.
And they call it the Pampers pole because it makes you want to poop yourself. Because
at
the top of a 30-foot pole, it's moving under your body weight. And then you got to jump and grab of course, you're all harnessed up and everything, but it's still just like, do I really trust this equipment to prevent me from being a quadriplegic in about 3 seconds? I don't know. Well, I'm going to jump and find out.
Yep.
What's delighting you, sir?
I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days because I knew we were recording tonight, and I was really struggling to find something.
Life is hard, Mitch. I'm sorry.
Man, it's been a long week this week, legitimately. We had 2 days where I had to switch my schedule around to do foster care training. And so those were 2 really long days. And then not that I regret it, but it's just, they were long days. Mm-hmm. there are two nights where I had to go into work and unload trucks, and that was exhausting. And it's just, man, the foster care stuff has just been messing with my emotions. Just stuff I did not expect to happen and wasn't prepared for, just emotionally. And so it's been really taxing. So last night I'm thinking about this, and I thought this Apple event and the possibility of getting these new phones and getting the Apple Watch, I came to realize that it kind of gave me something to think about that would distracted me from all of that, and it just made me happy, and it's good. Just the idea of having that little bit of hope that was just good. So I don't really have anything better than that. If there was anything, it was sitting out on the porch, drinking my coffee yesterday morning, enjoying the weather, and that was good too. But just finding my little escapes from the craziness of life. So
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with taking a moment, right? And just appreciating that the world isn't falling apart. I mean, the world is, but like your world in that moment, like there's just we're allowed to just be,
I'm so glad that I'm not in control of all this.
Oh, absolutely.
Just on the real. When it comes to being a Christian and trusting in God, it's just like, I'm so glad I'm not in control of all this, because I couldn't do it. So leaning on him, knowing that he's got it all under control, is good. So anyway, didn't mean to go get all spiritual on you, but
oh yeah, Mitch. Wow, I'm so offended. Now tell me, how do you feel about tongues? I'm talking about speaking in them. Don't take that out of context.
We could have a very long conversation about that, because that is something that I've studied for years, but I think I'm going to let that go.
Yeah, we don't have time for that tonight.
All right. Well, I think we whipped through that pretty quick. I think we've got another event coming up in October, so I think we're going to see some new MacBooks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested, just from a what they're going to be able to do perspective, because what I keep coming back to with these M1 MacBooks is that MacBook Air that I'm recording on right now is most likely the worst MacBook with an M chip in it that is ever going to be made.
Right.
And it screams.
It's a good machine.
It's incredible. And so from that standpoint, I'm very excited for what a real pro level machine could do. But at the same time, it's like, this computer's amazing. I don't need to buy one until it self-destructs in 5 years. So I have like those two viewpoints. It's like, what's coming is great. I also don't care because my computer's incredible. So that's kind of where I'm at with all the new stuff coming out. So also, is your wife and or cat okay? That sounded not like a pleasant noise.
So he apparently bit her ankle.
What a turn.
That's what that yelp was.
Well, I couldn't tell if who the noise came from, the cat or Jamie.
Normally, if Schroeder goes and bites me, I'm just like, and I know not to make any noise. She just like, ah!
Well, I'm sure it wasn't pleasant.
No, he doesn't bite that hard. It's just surprising. So, but anyway,
he is a biter.
But we also didn't see AirPods at this event, which they're rumored. So
no.
Are you? Yeah. Well, you've got your Macs, so you're good.
I do, and I like these a lot.
They are starting to grow on me a little bit, but there's no way I'm paying that much money for a pair of headphones. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
They sound so good.
Yeah, well, so does my Sonos home theater. So like, I can't do that for headphones. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah. They make me so happy. So, Anyway, we should wrap it up. Pretty quick show tonight.
I know, but we got through everything.
We did. I'm very happy with that. That even with Jamie in the room.
So not touching that one.
Yep. Is it always got to go that direction with you? I don't know. Anyway,
that's not, like never. You took that one out of context.
Anyway, if you do want to check out more about the show, about us, all the shenanigans that we're up to, innerdialogue.show is where you can find us. Also, you can hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Mitch Craig.
Oh yeah, I'm at Cam Brennan.
Yep.
Hasn't changed still.
No. Very good. Also on Instagram, I'm Radio Mitch, and you're
Cam Brennan.
Cam Brennan. Yep. So I wish I could get all. How many accounts? Are you one of those guys like me that like signs up for an account immediately when a service opens that you think might be kind of cool, and then just to make sure you get your name?
Only if I'm going to use it, but I rarely. I don't think I've ever come. I think the only plain Cam Brennan I don't own is Gmail.
Yeah.
Someone else beat me to that. Otherwise, everything that I have is Cam Brennan.
Can I confess to you that I paid for my Gmail account before it was public?
How did you do that?
So it wasn't public yet. So I went on because you had to have an invite to join Gmail. So I went on eBay, and for $1, I bought an invite from somebody, and they sent me the invite, and I got in. So it only cost me $1, but I got my name.
There you go.
Yeah.
It does bother me a little bit that.
No, I had invites, so then I sent you an invite. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say it does bother me just a little bit that everything across every domain or service is Cam Brennan except for my. Now I have an email for my photography side gig that is fully custom.
Yeah.
But the Gmail one, that number 9 just oof.
Gets you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody knows your email.
That's all right.
Oh wait, they don't know where the dot is. Oh.
They don't know where the 9 is.
There's a dot in yours, isn't it? I forget.
I don't know. I'm not telling you now.
I don't think it is. I don't know. I have no idea.
There's
Might be a
silent,
comma.
There's a silent J in there. Just don't worry about it.
Semicolon.
Yeah. Just a random apostrophe because stupid fantasy people.
Jamie got the semicolon joke. If you don't listen to the Incomparable Game Show, you don't. The semicolon's a thing.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
But anyway, well, we can probably wrap her up, man.
Yeah, this is going really well here at the end.
Yeah. I think this show we have equally made an argument for why we should do it at night and why we shouldn't do it at night. So good times.
Indeed.
All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you. Always fun to talk about an Apple event. Yes. And we'll see you later, man. Have a good night.
Toodles.